Kevin Smith in studio to join the program.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Kevin. Isn't this something? Our new digs.
I gotta say, it's hauntingly familiar.
You've been in here.
That I've been here before. I don't know why.
You've been in here.
Deja vu. Last time I was here, though, there were no windows in this place.
Yeah. Well, what a waste.
Look at that great big window behind you, man.
Saying, look at that great view of another building.
Yeah, we've seen some nudity through there. There's some girl that would exercise.
We haven't seen her in a while,
but she shut her shades, and they haven't opened yet, and she could be dead, just smelling the apartment up.
You guys are nudity magnets.
Yeah, love it.
Last time I was with you guys, people were having sex.
Yeah, that's
remember
right.
on the
Pal Talk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't have the Pal Talk hooked up in here. I don't know why they kept promising that we were going to get it. But the computers are here, the Pal Talk cameras are here, but for some reason it's not hooked up yet.
Right.
Eagerly awaiting that because people like that.
The best part of waking up.
Yes.
Folgers in my cup that morning.
A little bit of cyber sex.
Oh my God. Stephen from Bayshore, make sure you grill Kevin over recommending War of the Worlds.
Somebody didn't agree with that.
Remember, I think I asked you. I said, "What's?"
Did you watch it finally?
I hated it.
I watched it again.
I hated it,
and I like it.
I like it.
I
can, I've met with people that don't like it either, and kind of give me crap for it. But I like it. I think
you got to get over the cruise factor in it.
Is that what bugs you about it? Cruise?
No, it was so hokey. Like
watching those things walk across
that. Yeah, it was so cool.
That stuff was cool.
Great.
But the continuity in the movie was ridiculous, and I take that stuff pretty seriously.
The son should have died. I'll give you that. The son should have died. Don't make it a happy ending where everybody's alive. Kill the kid.
Well, they collect all this food to go to the other house, and this other house is like this beautiful, pretty much like mansion, and it has like a refrigerator.
They didn't even check the fridge.
They didn't even check the fridge or the cupboards for food.
Some little details.
And then how about
he was trying to be polite to his wife and
polite. The world is destroyed. And then they go to sleep downstairs, right? And they wake up in the morning. They didn't notice that a jumbo jet crashed into their house.
They noticed. They all ran down into.
They thought it was one of those big things destroying the neighborhood, but it turned out to be it was a plane that crashed.
But then he walks upstairs and there's the fuselage in his living room, and he's just casual about it.
They're in the basement.
Weren't there no bodies or something too? Like no bodies all over the place?
Yeah, I think they were zapped.
And then and why was his the only car that ran? Explain that one, Kevin.
The solenoid. They had to replace the solenoid.
Explain that one.
They did explain that. They did explain that in the beginning. The guy was fixing something.
The electromagnetic pulse.
So why couldn't he fix other people's cars? He could only fix one car?
He was zapped like a second later. Remember? Like Tom Cruise is driving away and the dude's
he's got an answer for everything.
And he gets fried.
There was an electromagnetic pulse from these things that killed the solenoid in the cars.
Of all cars except for Tom Cruise's.
No, he had to replace.
Yeah, I know, because the mechanic helped him out.
It.
But then the mechanic got zapped right after that?
It wasn't in his car, though. He ran over to the mechanics, and he stole the car the dude was working on.
I mean, you can't just take a solenoid out of any car and put it into any car. You need, like, a solenoid that works.
And then he's driving down the highway, and all the cars are off to the side of the road. Just
That's always a little convenient. Even Independence Day. Come on. They drove down to Washington. One side of the road was plugged.
That seems to be the thing to fear the most in the case of an alien invasion is how traffic-ridden. Every one of those movies, it's just like a series.
Because it was 5 hours to drive down to Atlantic City, and that was just Memorial Day weekend. Right. Picture giant aliens blasting people.
Just run across the car top.
But they're all swerved out of the way, so he had a perfect path down the road, more or less. It's like I picture rush hour traffic. Everyone's batteries die at the exact same time. The cars are just in that position.
You didn't find little Dakota Fanning adorable?
I thought she was dope. She was
adorable. I thought they could have done a much better job.
I think she's a midget with that acting ability.
A
gotta be a
human
fidget.
being that just happens to be a midget.
Them's not babies, them's fidgets.
Yeah, I like that movie, man. I know some people don't, but I dug it.
It wasn't bad, but...
Well, now you're reining it in. Now you went from it was horrible.
Feeling a little better. Basement scene, it was pretty tense.
Well, you explained some things to me, so...
I need to be there when you watch it, and we can pause it, and you can vent, and I can
all right.
think about it like this. It's just a movie. You're like, all right, and we watch it more.
I bought it on your recommendation and watched half, and I didn't.
Half?
Not something
you
happened.
must have loved it.
Not something happened. I'll watch the rest.
Yeah.
All right. I saw Poseidon.
And?
I kind of liked it. And that movie's getting horrible reviews.
Yeah.
I went to see that opening weekend as well.
I'll tell you why I
never
liked
thought I would say this, but I prefer the original to this.
The original? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the original has
It was
a
lacking-
better story.
Leslie
Way
Nielsen
better
as the
story.
captain alone makes it a better movie.
Lacking
better
Shelley Winters factor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
better story, better characters, and much better dialogue.
Right.
The dialogue in this Poseidon is god awful.
Terrible. It felt like there were maybe 15 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't talk much.
The one good thing they had going for them is they start moving toward that wave like within the first 10-15 minutes.
Really?
Well, the movie's only an hour and
Good.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
it's
short.
I don't think it's an hour and a half.
I don't want to know so much about, like the old Irwin Allen disaster movies were always about, the first hour was having to learn about everybody's
Setting up
life.
the
and
world
setting
before
it
the
all up.
disaster.
Right.
And then the disaster and how their different personalities work out. Just flip the boat over, for God's sake, we'll learn about them later.
I'll tell you, I
But
started.
then it'll make you, if you see the new one, you'll long for Irwin Allen.
Yeah?
Because they get to the boat flip way too early, and you just don't care about anybody.
You know what everybody's forgetting? That in between, there was a TV movie Poseidon made that everyone forgot about. I tuned it in this
not too long
this
ago.
weekend. It was on.
Steve Gutenberg's.
Yeah, Steve Gutenberg. I tuned it. I'm tuning in, and I see a scene from the Upside Down. It just flipped. The Christmas tree is up against the ledge up top. They're climbing up, and I'm expecting to see, Cornelius from Planet of the Apes. What's his name? Roddy McDowell. He'll always be Cornelius to me. Expecting to see him, and I see this big bloated Steve Gutenberg up on top, and I'm like, what the hell movie is this? And I was like, oh yeah, they made a TV movie Poseidon. That's always convenient to do.
Yeah, and they made with like $5 million.
Yeah, $5 million, and they always put it out. I think they do that on purpose when they know that a major theatrical version's coming out, so it confuses people and they watch it.
I saw Poseidon on the iMac though. That's what made it great.
On the, would you download it? Like
I mean, the
IMAX.
IMAX.
Yeah,
I keep saying iMac for some reason. IMAX. That's what made it great. And
Watched it on a computer. It's wonderful.
I was like, wow, streaming. I would imagine that would make it a little bit better, but.
And Kurt Russell was there.
And Kurt Russell, you can't go wrong with Kurt Russell.
Well,
I saw
overboard.
Dreamer, dude. I saw Dreamer, the movie with him and Dakota Fanning last summer, and that made me cry. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
There was
and nobody ever thought to put him into a movie with Chris Christopherson and make Chris Christopherson his dad. It was such a genius.
Nah, there's one Kurt Russell movie, though, that is just the best. Him, Sly Stallone.
For action and laughs, all
For
packed in a one.
Action, laughs, all in one major motion picture.
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash.
Nothing beats it for just laugh after laugh.
Oh, what a fantastic motion picture.
Intentional and unintentional laughs, or are they all unintentional?
Just the barbs, the witty barbs,
That could not be funny ever. Under any circumstances, under any drug, it can't be funny.
Stallone trying to be charming is enough to make my stomach turn. Whenever he wears glasses and tries to cut it smart.
Thanks for dropping in.
That was pretty
good. Really?
That was
Hey, thank you. We're gonna thought we'd go to the zoo and see the tiger. The zoo. The tiger's the retard.
Do you have any interest in the Rocky sequel that's coming out at Christmas?
Purely humorous.
Really?
No, but actually I hear it's if it was just Rocky getting in the ring again and just trying to pull off the same thing, but them acknowledging that he's older and this is like the last hurrah could be good. Not calling it Rocky, whatever the number is, just called Rocky Balboa. That's kind of cool.
What's he doing? And is he fighting again?
Yeah.
It's going to stink.
But there's some boxing involved.
It's going to stink.
Of course there's boxing
What, does he
involved.
fight his dignity in a room?
Tries to find it.
It sounds like a better story than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all.
If they did the right thing, maybe he'll die in the end. I think that would be a point.
That would be, but you know something? What movie where people die in the end does well? It's really
Schindler's List.
hard. Well, there you go. I pardon you.
Won an
Guy during the
Oscar.
opening credits.
I think when you
High body count
All right,
picture.
let me. When they expect people to die,
Right.
high body count,
Right.
then it does well. Whenever like the lead character dies, we found out that the movie doesn't really do very well.
There was a big movie this weekend where a couple lead characters died. It did
Really?
Very well.
No, you made a good point, too, because Titanic really
X-Men
bombed.
Last Stand. Yeah.
Well, one of them died.
Yeah.
One of the leads died. One didn't.
And one had their heart go on
Yes, go.
in a
Fat
big
pig
bad
hanging
way.
onto a door.
Um,
life will go on.
So can we talk about the you guys coming back to terrestrial?
Sure.
I know you've talked about it to death, but I haven't.
This is just ridiculous that they hired us back.
It's insane.
It makes no sense.
It's just like you can't be here anymore, and then they're like, please come back.
That's pretty much how it went down.
We were such persona non grata to the entire company for years.
Right.
There was a literal hatred between the two camps.
Right.
When they gave us the boot, we felt that, what we did, pretty tasteless, awful, a lot of outrage. But if they just wouldn't have knee-jerked and kept us in there...
but you guys didn't actually do it. Other people did. You just talked about it.
Other people did it. We talked about it, but not even that. Like, the newspaper blew it so far out of proportion. Right. There was a couple in St. Pat's, and a spotter was with them. What we got was a phone call. Blunk. We plunked the line down. He goes, "We're here at St. Pat's, and they're doing balloon knot." It's all that was said. And in the paper, it was a blow-by-blow, sexy description of graphic sex at St. Pat's. And we're like, that never, ever happened.
Feet away from worshipers.
Yes, only feet away from worshipers. It was like me and Opie were homos on the altar. Right. That's the picture that the press was trying to...
give me the chalice.
Yeah, give me the chalice.
I'm almost there.
I want to make a cocktail out of it. Like, they pictured just the most heinous thing because of the way it was reported, when... in all actuality, the broadcast itself was well within FCC compliance. Right. We didn't curse. There wasn't any graphic description of sex. There was a knee-jerk because some people got on Viacom, who at the time owned Infinity, who we worked for. Right. There was a lot of companies that Viacom owned, Paramount Pictures, Blockbuster Video. So when you get this big conglomeration, all these other companies are going, hey, what if these two idiots make it so people don't come into Blockbuster or don't watch Paramount Pictures or buy this brand of coffee or whatever the hell else they owned at the time. So they said, well, two heads, lop them off. And we went. They paid us for the 2 years we were out.
At that point, you guys were on this station?
We were on WNEW right down the road.
And about 20 others.
About 20 other markets around the country, doing afternoon drive.
And was it part of Infinity or was it part of...
Infinity Broadcasting. But Infinity was part of Viacom, which, owns everything.
Since then, they've split.
They've split, and now it's just CBS Radio. So they got rid of us, but they had to pay us to keep us from working somewhere else. Right. See, they did not want us to work... the truth is against Howard. Right. Clear Channel would have picked us up and put us in mornings against Howard Stern. They didn't want that, so they just paid us to keep us off the air for 2 years.
So now, in the 2 years that you were off the air and paid to be off the air, are you struggling against the two feelings of like, boy, it'd be nice to work, but this is awesome getting paid now?
Every friend we know was like, dude,
it's great you're getting paid.
How cool is this, dude? You're getting paid, you do nothing.
I would be in that camp, sir. I would be in the camp.
Dude. But for the first few, even months, it's cool. You're like, I got the world at my fingertips. Right. Whatever I want to do.
You can sleep till...
Where do I want... Let me spin the globe and throw a dart. Where am I going this week? Doesn't even matter. Amex... It's all on Infinity Broadcasting. It was great.
The first 3 months, I would say, was
3 months
was great. After that, you're like, man, we could. First of all, this isn't a job,
right?
Yeah,
and we could get paid by someone else to have fun because that's what we do.
Yeah, we love doing radio.
And you're a creative person. When you're not allowed to, when they're telling you you're not allowed to create, that plays with you a little bit too.
After a few months, you're sitting there going, you realize, hey, now I'm not working on St. Thomas. And now I'm not working in California. Wherever you are, it's like you're not working. And the bitch of it is, everyone you know has jobs. Right. So you can't hang with your friends. You're not hanging out.
It's not like you're in your early 20s, like, hey, let's get some beer and go to the beach for the day.
Right. Everybody you know is
You're
working.
pretty much by yourself.
So you wind up doing a lot of traveling at first, and then you just wind up calling your agent and going, dude, anything? Is there anything on the horizon even? A light at the end of the tunnel? And that's when XM Satellite, they were constantly inquiring, but always at loggerheads. We had the opportunity to get out of the deal with Infinity, but they had this big, long contract written up that we wouldn't be able to talk about past present, future employees of the company.
Well, it was the Howard clause.
It was the Howard thing. They didn't want us talking about
Let's
Howard.
Let's be honest here. It was the Howard clause. And every time we mentioned Howard, as we moved forward with our careers, it would cost us $100,000 each.
Yeah, it would have cost us $100,000. Yeah,
under this contract.
Yeah.
Under this thing that would get us out of the contract, so we could go work for Clear Channel or whoever else at the time.
Someone else. So we just we decided, look, we're
like,
done with this. Going to sit out.
How do we move forward? And they wanted this for the rest of our careers. So it's like, how do we move forward with our radio careers and never mention that ass? That was not cool to us.
We couldn't talk about why we got fired, like what happened. Like, people wanted to know what happened to us for 2 years. We wouldn't have been able to mention it.
So how did you get around it?
We didn't sign the contract. We sat out. We sat out for 2 years, almost 2.5 years, and then XM came along after we were done getting paid off by Infinity, and they hired us. So we went over there, and that was pretty cool. I mean, especially the fact that we had jobs again.
Right.
We were able to be creative and get back into the swing of things. And the cursing and talking about anything you want to talk about is really cool. And that's what happened for 18 months. And then, Howard decided he was going to go to satellite. And
I thought he invented satellite radio.
He did. Well, if you listen to the pioneering spirit he has, we were never acknowledged that we had been doing it for, a year before, at least a year before. And it was like, I'm revolutionizing everything, Robin. I'm the king of everything. It didn't matter what happened.
You got the impression, like
Robin.
You are the Rich Little of the 21st century.
I try. I really do try. But
every voice is a home run.
He just went off about how he revolutionized. People walk around like slugs, Robin. I did the 1 foot in front of the other. It's called walking. Everyone does it now. Everyone. Ripping me off. So we obviously were in satellite first.
Right.
He went. He's the pioneer. All right, we'll give him that one. Whatever. Have fun. And then, David Lee Roth took over over here. And,
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, David Lee Roth. Thank you.
Giving, apparently.
Diamond Dave. Boozy, bop. Where'd he go? That didn't last too long. And we kind of started knowing that something was up.
Right.
Like, we would have liked the job right out of the gate. And
we tried. We tried to make this deal a while ago.
There was a kick in the ass factor.
They weren't ready.
And even Stern knew about it because he'd be on his show going, those two idiots, Opie and Anthony, they'd have had the world by the, they would have known, they would have had this seat, they would have been here, but they screwed up their careers. And now, and we're sitting there going, we got a great gig over at Satellite and everything, but we were heirs to the throne. This does suck, And they hired David Lee Roth, and then we, heard that wasn't working out. So we started going, I wonder if this is going to work out. And then to get to the two companies, CBS and XM, to actually work together is like Apollo 13, when they tried to get the CO2 thing to work from the command module to the lunar module. That's how CBS and XM, there were 20 adapters that had to be used between, and lawyers and agents, and just like one person didn't get the other. Two computers trying to talk, just didn't understand the language.
Right.
So one day, we get a call from our agent, and it's like, guys, it's going through. Congrats. Pop the champagne. This is amazing. I cannot believe this deal is happening. The very next day, sometimes not even the day, later in the day, guys, guys, it fell through. This just will never happen. It's, we tried. It's just, and the ups and downs, and then finally hammered out. Got the deal, and then to walk in here and go, okay, how the hell did this happen?
That is strange. Now, had you ever been in this room prior to this?
No. We took a couple tours.
We were up here one night when we weren't supposed to be.
Yeah, a couple
creeping around.
I think Big Kev described it appropriately as like being in Saddam's palace or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like the Saddam, when the army rolled in, kicked Saddam out, and they're swimming in the pool. Or
that's a great way to look at it.
Or when Tony Montana got Frank's house.
Yeah.
That's another one. Hey, Frank.
And we know it's driving him nuts. He makes believe it's not and all that, but it's driving him nuts.
I don't care.
And now he wants to make this same deal, but the little doggy company over there is spending way too much money.
Now, when you pay a guy $500 million like that, the last thing you want him to do is go somewhere else
and give it away for
free.
The
good thing is we work cheap.
That's
so people don't care about selling us off like the whores we are.
That's right.
So you've exponentially increased the amount of listeners you guys have by the fact that you
amazing.
are on where in New York,
New York, Philly, Boston, Dallas. I'm looking at the list right now. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and West Palm Beach.
For now.
For now, more to be added.
More to be added.
More to be added, and XM's great. We love going over there. And it keeps us from getting mad at the bosses here. If we got something we want to do that's going to be outrageous and be a problem, we don't have to argue our point here. We go, okay, we'll wait. We'll do it over there.
So what happens at a certain point? This show ends. The CBS show ends at what time?
8:45, 8:50.
And what's it go to then? Just some music or
no? Then we take the mics.
We have 5 minutes to get downstairs. In the lobby, they give us handheld mics, and then we broadcast the walk to XM.
We walk, talk to people on the street, screw around. On the street. So we have Rich Voss, sometimes a comic, and we have him just barge into a Starbucks, introduce him as a comic, and start doing like this most heinous stand-up ever. And just the people are stunned that it's happening. The employees don't know to kick him out yet, because it's one of those things that like a bombing that just happens literally with Voss sometimes that just happens, and people are shocked. They're like, "What is going on here?" Because Kenny gives the big intro, and now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, and people are like, having my coffee. What the hell is this? Talk to homeless people on the street, and then we, go back to the XM studio and broadcast from there.
For another couple hours.
Yeah, would have liked to have broadcast from one studio,
but it's impossible.
But that was part of the deal that the computers talking to each other didn't get.
Right.
They want us here,
but something good creative
and they
comes
want us
out of it because you can walk over.
Yeah, the walk becoming the
and the atmosphere is so much different that it keeps us. I think in here. We know where we are. Right. We got to talk like, we're at Grandma's house. Right. And over there,
you have to think 3 feet ahead of each statement. It's a little tough. When I sat down, I was just like, can't curse, must not curse.
I know, you're so used to it. We're used to it. And then when we get over there, the second we get on the street, it's nothing but F, S, we're just throwing them out like crazy.
By the way, you can curse here.
You got the delay.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the dump.
Fuck it.
Ooh, see. Now that's gonna be dumped, and we're gonna have a problem.
See, I'm just showing Kevin that we can curse here.
Yeah, but you're being very bold. They should have a TV that has the dump guy, so you can look to see if he's taking a whiz or something.
Yeah, to make sure he's not dozing off. Going for coffee,
sitting there reading a comic book.
It seems like everything's under control. I'll walk down the hall and get myself a cup of coffee.
Kevin in there. Kevin isn't really known for.
Kevin's not gonna curse.
He's
not sing. They're gonna have a normal interview. They're gonna talk about movies. I'm gonna go get some food.
This is the easiest job in the world.
Right.
What did he say?
Oh, he hears it from the bathroom.
All right. So the show on CBS ends at 8:45.
Yeah, 8:45, 8:50.
Now, but normally the morning drive time shows used to go to 10 a.m. or something like that. And what was the idea there? Just like really drive time ends by 9 o'clock? I thought that was weird. Like,
no, the only
most people are at work.
See what it comes down to. The only way XM wanted this deal was if we did exclusive material for them.
Right.
So they need a couple of hours.
And there's only so much radio we could do in a day. Right now, we're committed to do 5 hours a day.
Right.
Sometimes we do 6.
Sometimes we do 6. If we're feeling it, but that's why.
But if CBS went to them and said we want them to do 6 to 10, XM was going, hey, excuse me, we'd like a little piece of them here. We brought them back.
Money talks.
Money talks.
You watch.
And XM is probably happy because you guys are here, and it means more people listen to the show, and they'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to pick up the XM." Or something.
Yeah, we get to promote XM too, which
without paying.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because the people that listen, to us until 9 o'clock,
right?
They might want to hear what we're going to say from 9 to 11 or 12 o'clock.
Kind of a genius business deal, man.
Yeah. They kind of
we like it a lot.
We like it. It is something that hasn't been done before. A lot of people go from terrestrial radio and simulcast on satellite. They do things like that, but to have 2 shows with a continuity thread through it, but they're almost 2 different shows like this. We're pioneers.
We got to take a break. We're a little late.
Yep.
Kevin Smith in studio. We'll talk about Clerks 2 and also other movies, and we got to get into this Bonds thing. This Bonds thing is making us laugh hard this morning. They didn't get the call. They didn't get the call when he hit 7:15.
Think it was out of spite. Someone.
I don't know. We got the clip. It's really funny to listen to, but the local radio there in San Francisco did not get the call when he hit the big home run there. So we'll get into that next and other things. It's the O&A virus spreading across America.
Opie and Anthony show. Most of us get here on time.
We're just fat guys on the air.
We are so pathetic. We're fancy, fancy people.
The battle of the mental illness.
We are going to dumb this thing down to the point that we're going to be #1 with Down syndrome children.
It's showtime, folks.
It's the Opie and Anthony show.
You'll love us.
Opie and Anthony, mornings 6 to 9.